episode. Who knows? I'm really excited, dude.
Why?
Well, I mean, we've been talking about like part of the great part about having the podcast studio in the house is that when we want to, we just jump in the room, we call our producer Rick, and we do this thing.
Say, Rick, are you ready?
And this was and to be honest with you, like I love podcasting with you. I enjoy it. And I kind of I'm like, oh man, I got to wait till next week to sit down and have the podcast. But because of my schedule, we're not going to be able to film next week. So we were like, okay, well, let's just call producer Rick and see if...
Do you really enjoy podcasting with me, or are you just being sweet? What do you want?
No, I do. And I'm laughing.
Why are you laughing?
Because I saw the little move, the
tuck in the fat and the high mom-waisted jeans?
The little shimmy that you did. Like you were... Dude, you guys didn't even see her like squatting in here, like doing the splits, like trying to stretch those.
I was not doing the splits because I would have split my damn
Well, no, but
hands.
you were throwing your leg out to the side, like.
I just washed these jeans, and you know how when you first put on a pair of jeans, they're a little snugger. I had to like loosen them up.
Oh no,
a
my
little
jeans
bit.
don't fit right till day 3.
Okay, so
I gotta wear them 3 days in a row.
So you should understand. I had to loosen them up a little bit.
I'm not mad.
So I got some wiggle room for my extra jiggle.
And then I was laughing because Rick's like, "Wow, that's a lot of white." And I'm like, "Dude, did you just tell me that my wife has a huge ass?"
I was gonna say Rick is usually a little more tactful.
No, he wasn't being rude.
He was like, "That's a lot of bright white."
And I was like, "Well, she's got a huge ass, bro. That's a lot of white fabric." But I did laugh because I don't know what episode it was, but you've gotten several comments about your butt.
Well, because you pointed out.
Several people are like, "Oh man!"
When I got up out of my chair to grab the old salt coffee.
Oh yeah,
I think that's what.
And then somebody was really sweet about it, like, "Ooh, thanks for showing us your cute little butt."
Now I'm like hyper aware.
And there was a couple creepy dudes that were like, "Damn girl, you got a fat ass," like very aggressive.
PHAT, they said.
Yeah, fat.
Right?
Yeah,
yes.
Pretty hot and tempting. I don't even know if that's a thing. Like I was.
That totally just dated us, didn't it?
Well, no, I was laughing because I'm me. I'm always asking questions, and Victoria's girls are all freshmen, 8th grade, and 7th grade, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, so what's the new terminology? Blah blah blah. So they taught me a few things. Mm-hmm. Okay, your drip is looking amazing. You got a nice drip.
That sounds dirty.
You got a drip. It's a
cool
drip.
Or like I have like an STD or something.
It's a cool drip. And Rick, do you know what drip is? You got young kids. Yeah. So the drip is your outfit.
Okay.
Right. And then when if somebody comes with an idea, you go say less.
Yeah. We talked about that one. Yeah. We talked about that one. Say less.
But it was funny because Victoria was like, "Oh my God, these kids."
But a drip is your outfit.
Yes.
Okay.
But Victoria was like, "Oh my God, these kids, they sound ridiculous." And I'm like, fat and dog and I mean all the things
what was dog?
What's up, dog?
Oh,
right.
Gotcha.
My dog,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
All the stupid stuff that rad, right? I mean all the dumb stuff that we said, right? I think anyway, I don't know why I went off on that, but your drip looks fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
And you always get
bright white jeans.
You always get a lot of compliments on your drip, and you look good. But I did want to. Rick asked me. He said before we started recording, he goes, "Do you know what you want to talk about?" And I do.
You do?
I do.
You guys, he won't tell me. Steve, I will ask him. I'll be like, what are we going to talk about today? And Rick, he refuses to have a conversation with me about what we're going to talk about.
No, and I tell you why. Because in the past, when we've had a conversation, because we used to drive an hour to go do this thing, and then we'd be in the car, and then you would say, okay, what are we going to talk about? And then we would talk about it, and then you would stumble. You would stumble because you wanted to stay on the script that we talked about.
Well, not a script because we never wrote anything out, but I just wanted to be able to articulate my arguments.
So then why stick to the script? My point is that I think that you're very witty. I think that you're very talented. I think that you add to the podcast, story-wise or argument-wise or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think that you are strong enough I just think it's more natural,
But it
more
feels
real.
like such an unfair advantage because you know the topics we're going to talk about.
Not always.
And you're already so much better at this than I am. So I feel like it's totally an unfair advantage.
I mean, you're more than welcome to bring up whatever you would like to bring up on this podcast because, as you know, we don't hide anything. We don't, I'm an open book. Anything that you want to tackle, I'm happy to get into. So if you have something while we're talking.
Well, now I should have thought of something.
Well, that's my point. So I'll help you think of something. we actually had a really, really wonderful day today. I mean, there was a little bit of driving involved, but all in all, I think it was a really good day. As Texans, growing up in 8th grade for a Texan, the entire year is Texas history. Mm-hmm. Because Texas has so much history. At one point, we were our very own country. Yeah. We actually won our independence.
I remember going to college and other people thinking that was weird. That we spent a whole year studying the history of our own state.
Of Texas. Yeah. Well, but it's not like one of those things where, oh my gosh, like really? No, there is a lot of history. Yeah. In Texas, from Texas being Mexico. The theme park Six Flags over Texas is because at one point Six Flags flew over the great state of Texas. That's why it's called
this physical land.
Yeah. This physical land. That's why it's called Six Flags. And so there's tons and tons of history. Of course, everybody knows about the Alamo. There's been several shitty movies made and produced about the Alamo. But a lot of people don't know that there's a little town called Goliad, Texas, where there were 2 missions, a fort. It has the second oldest running Catholic church in the country.
Which is really cool.
Which is really freaking cool. Out in front of the courthouse in Town Square, there's an actual tree called the hanging tree. Yeah. Where they would actually hang people. And when I was a kid, we would go to Goliad, and I just fell in love with Goliad. Yeah. So Renae and I would like to invest our time and our energy into Goliad. And we also feel like, we live in New Braunfels, and Green, Texas is, considered the oldest honky-tonk in Texas. Somebody came in, saw a vision for Green, and now Green is...
I mean, you got to explain to people. Texans will know who Green is, but people outside Texas won't know what Green is. It's green. It's the German spelling, Gruene. And it's part of our city, New Braunfels, where we live, but it's its own little antique
historically
shops
town
and
wineries.
Yes.
And, I would venture to say that several 100,000 people visit Green Hall and Green the area every day. Yeah. I mean, throughout the year, but I mean,
there's a beautiful old bed and breakfast, like the Green Mansion.
Right. And then, Fredericksburg, for example, is another town that, oh my God, it blew up. And
I love Fredericksburg.
But so then it's frustrating because you love Fredericksburg, you love Green, you go to Fredericksburg and try to buy property, and it's insane. Yeah. Everybody has already caught on.
Well, in Fredericksburg, even the people in that community are because there's not a ton of industry specifically in Fredericksburg, people are kind of being pushed out because they can't live there anymore.
Well, and
it's all like Airbnb.
Right. Almost every house in Fredericksburg now is an Airbnb. Yeah. Right. And then you got, Wimberley became the next place, right? Green and Fredericksburg kind of came up at the same time. Wimberley. By the way, if you're planning on visiting Texas, these are all the places you're gonna.
I was just thinking about that.
Want to visit if you're married? These are the places that
if you're
married, right? The guy gets to sit outside.
No, well, Wimberley, there's like water and swimming holes, and that's like family fun.
Yeah, and great restaurants and little bars, and tons of antique shopping, and bullshit stores. I call them bullshit stores. Right? Hey, you like bullshit? Come on in. We got some bullshit. Hey, you want to walk around and check out bullshit? We got some bullshit. Oh, fellas, you sit on that bench. The girls are going to go in there and look at some bullshit, right? But, Goliad for me is I feel like, this is a beautiful historic town with 2 missions, a beautiful courthouse. Beautiful courthouse.
I didn't realize there was water there. There's a lake there.
There's a lake there. The San Antonio River runs through Goliad. The missions are still there. The fort is still there. You drive around this tiny town of...
I think we went for a school field trip as kids.
No, but I'm almost afraid to talk about it right now because there's a house we want. And somebody's going to be like, oh, let me look at real estate in Goliad and steal our house. But we just felt like, and it was a hunch, right? It was I think Goliad could be a really cool place. Mm-hmm. So today we decided to go down there and actually see the town, see the culture, see what's going on in the town square.
Chat with some people.
And just kind of walk around and chat with people. Well, first of all, God, Texas, most friendly people.
I was people are so happy to talk. If you just ask a question, it opens up like a 45-minute conversation.
Oh my God, we were getting all kinds of information, right?
Yeah.
People are like, oh, so-and-so just had a stroke. And she's probably going to sell her property. Her kids don't want it. They live up in Austin. But so Rick, we walked around the town square, and to our surprise, there's already stuff there.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, of course. It's a beautiful little square.
There's a couple of antique shops. There's a really cool diner that we sat in, or deli.
Cafe deli.
That we sat in and had a meal.
Mm-hmm.
We were able to walk into several stores, storefronts.
Yeah.
There. There's a really cool bar there. There's a brewery.
Oh, there was a brewery? I didn't see it.
I want to say, I think they said it's closed now because of COVID.
Oh.
That they
right.
didn't make it.
Right.
But, so we go out there, we check this place out, and we're like, wow, man, what a really cool place. And now I think Renae and I would like to start spending our time and our energy in this little town. And if anything, I would just love for the town to just get some eyeballs on it.
Yeah.
Right. And Texans that live near Goliad, talk about a great opportunity. Of course you're going to take your kid to San Antonio to see the Alamo, but here are these two missions, one of which still does Sunday Mass.
Yeah.
That you could actually take your kids. There's a state park there, and there's so much history. I mean, everywhere you turned, there was another plaque.
Oh, yeah.
But
all the buildings, each building's got like a plaque on it. And so many old homes.
Well, that's what I was going to say. You drive around the town, and there's these mansions. Like straight up, Rick, mansions.
Yeah.
And not just one. There's probably, and we didn't, because we had the babies, we didn't explore too much of the town. But, I mean, just me and you driving around in a matter of 10 minutes, we probably saw, 3-4 mansions?
Yeah.
Like full-on
beautiful old historic
plantation homes with these huge...
Probably, late 1800s?
Yep, 1800 homes. And it's just a beautiful town. And we love it. And we're hoping that you guys are hearing this and you go, hey, not only are we going to visit Greene, we're going to visit Fredericksburg, we're going to visit Wimberley, but hey, let's take a trip out to Goliad.
Yeah.
Or how many times have you been to Greene? How many times have you been to Fredericksburg? Right?
Yeah.
How many times have you been to Wimberley? Hey, change it up.
You know what it's missing? It doesn't have nightlife.
No, there was a couple of bars. Well, and to be honest with you, I think the market for that are people our age.
Woo! Sorry,
right?
I'm hungry.
I think people our age is kind of the market, right? So, Rick, I to be honest with you, I would have loved to see maybe an ice cream shop for Garrett.
An old-fashioned, ice cream.
Candy store, fountain kind of style,
Yeah.
I would have loved to have been able to walk into a place and have a beer.
But I didn't think about that. COVID. We didn't. We hadn't been to Goliad in a really long time. I wonder pre-COVID.
And then I think
what it was like. Who's going to open up a bar?
Well, you got to look it up too, because this Saturday specifically, I know Daddy Raymond and your mom are going to go back to Goliad because they have market days.
Yeah, once a month. Is that what it is?
I think once a month
the market days?
They close down all the town square and they have market days. And supposedly that is somewhat of a big deal. But and I'm not knocking being older, because we're all going to be older. But I think it attracts your parents' age, and I think that Greene and Fredericksburg attracts people our age and up. Right?
Well, there's so much rural land out there. I wonder if there's a farmer's market. We didn't ask about that.
I don't know if there's part of a farmer's market. But we woke up really early this morning. We packed the car. We hauled ass to Goliad, which is about 2 hours from New Braunfels, and we explored.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, I would like to go spend a day and spend the night. Yeah. You know, and see what the nightlife looks like. See if there is a place to go have a beer, go have a drink, you know. And then the town has done such a great job with,
we didn't even see if there's a grocery store now that you say that.
Oh, there's a grocery store. I used to hunt over there.
There has to be that.
There's a small apple market, like an apple market, like and I don't want to freaking talk about another market. It's I forget the name of them.
Like a mom and pop grocery store.
Yeah, it's like a little mom and pop, you know, grocery store for the little town. But and then speaking of Aztec Chevrolet, their other store, which is Aztec for hard. Aztec for ha. I'm gonna try again. Aztec physique. Aztec for hard. Hard. Hard.
You're facing the camera.
Aztec hard. They have an Aztec for.
Okay, that sounds gross. You gotta stop. That sounds gross.
So Aztec has Aztec Chevrolet in Beeville, and then they have Aztec Ford. Aztec Ford and Goliad. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And then, as a matter of fact, you know, there's a famous dance hall out there as well. Our friend Roger Krager is going to be playing there this weekend. I reached out to them, and it looks like I'm going to get to perform. It's called Schrader Hall. And
Schrader with a D? Schrader Hall?
Schrader Hall. And Green Hall says that they're the first ever honky tonk, and Schrader Hall says they're the second.
Oh,
oldest.
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're setting up a date to play out there because.
Why have we never been to Schrader? I've never been to Schrader Hall. Have you ever been?
Oh, I have. As you know, in high school we would go out there because back then it was all ages, and we would go out there and watch a show. You know, but from what I understand, they've come in, they've remodeled it, they fixed it up, and it's now, you know, back. I mean, Randy's going to play it. Roger's playing it this weekend. Aaron Watson, all those guys are going to be playing it.
So you want to go do a show?
Yeah, we're already working on it.
Oh, cool.
Well, and it's kind of close to Victoria, too, and we had such a great show in
people were asking when you were going to come back to Victoria because you've never done it. You did it once, like pre-COVID, and it was awesome.
So the other thing I wanted to talk about to put you on the spot is, by the way, speaking of Aztec Ford, oh my God, and Aztec Chevrolet, please go visit our friends at Aztec Chevrolet. And if you're on a budget and you don't have that much money for a truck, hit up Aztec Ford. Go ahead and hit them up. And then just to tie in Old Salt Coffee. Rick, I walked into a gun shop. There's a gun shop on the square in Goliad, of course.
Of course there is.
By the hanging tree, you know, and he was actually selling coffee. A friend of his had coffee, and it was Old Salt Coffee.
No way.
That's the coffee that your dad bought.
Oh, I didn't even realize it because his package was different than ours. I saw you bought coffee. I was like, why did Dad buy coffee?
Well, I bought it for your dad.
Gotcha.
But yeah, pretty cool. So, so to put you on the spot.
As I shoved food in my mouth, yes.
And that's exactly what we're going to talk about because we need to follow up. Okay. We said that you were going to get into shape. We said that you were going to have goals to go to Croatia. We said that you were going to get a personal trainer and that you were going to get that going. Okay. Just like we said that this room would be done. Just like we said that there would be curtains and that there'd be a carpet and there'd be chairs.
And then I just shot something out of my nose.
So none of that. So just to kind of catch up.
It's hard, y'all.
Well, you just had a baby. You look great, though. And I want you to know that. And I want to say that publicly, that you just had a baby 4 months ago. You look fabulous. I constantly try to molest you, as you know.
TMI.
And I've told you today, and I'll tell you tomorrow, and I've told you before, I'm more in love with you today than I was yesterday.
Well, you like me with a little more junk in my trunk.
So you do look great. However, what have the struggles been? I mean, but when you have a colicky baby too, I mean...
Well, that's the thing is I'm wearing Delilah most of the time. So I have tried to exercise with her before. So I shouldn't use that as an excuse. But it's just hard. I'm tired. And I have a baby that I'm carrying a lot of. And she is fussy. And the truth is, like, you can't make her happy when she's fussy. And so it's like here. You know what I mean?
Rick, do you notice something that somehow...
It's
somehow, Renae not getting in shape is my fault.
No, it's not. It's not. But we got stuck in Florida for 3 weeks for Snowvid.
With your personal trainer that we were using.
But she was having a good time too. She was drinking and eating.
Well,
We're on vacation.
Well, and we were lucky to find a need.
There's no good reason really, except that I just like to eat food.
And then we like the need. We still like a need.
Yeah.
She's amazing.
Yeah.
And her living in Laredo, Texas, and you living here, that started to pose a problem.
Yeah.
But she did show you how to meal prep, and you meal prepped. Why couldn't you stick to it?
Because it takes time, right, to make your food on Sunday and to grocery shop. And if I'm the only one who's going to be eating it, like...
I would eat them. If they were there, I would warm them up and eat them.
That's not true. I threw away a lot of meals.
Well, you're supposed to be eating 3 or 4 of them a day. I would grab one because I was hungry.
Eat them.
Yes, I would. And I'm happy to. You know me, I eat whatever's in the fridge.
You know what I really liked? I really liked Hungry Root. But you and Garrett would not eat that food.
Oh, shit.
But it was great because you could make it in 15 minutes. Like, all the ingredients were right there. You just made it in 15 minutes and it was done. You're not answering the question. What is the question?
You learned to meal prep.
I did learn to meal prep.
A need gave you a calorie plan.
Mm-hmm. Why have I not stuck to it?
Why have you not stuck to it? Now, I will say that I don't. So I'm just asking you. I don't.
Yeah, it's hard to commit to it when you're the only one doing it.
I think everybody will agree. We all know what to eat and what not to eat. If you're an adult, you know what to eat and what not to eat, right? You know that if you're getting the cheeseburger and French fries, that's probably a bad decision, right?
I like
on
food.
The menu. There's soup, there's chicken breast, there's even a steak, there's broccoli, right? So I
have very little willpower when it comes to food.
So and like me, I'm a huge chips and queso guy.
Yeah.
If I go to a restaurant and there's chips and queso on the menu, I'm like, I want that, right?
Yeah.
So we all know it's very hard, but you had made this challenge to yourself.
Yeah.
That, okay, I'm going to meal prep. I'm going to try to get in the best shape of my life. Where did the wheels fall off?
It's the food. It's the food. Because they even say the food is like 80% of it, right?
Oh, everybody says that.
Even if you can't exercise, if you can stick
Rick's
to the
laughing
food.
because you're not answering questions. She's not answering anything. I'm just saying. We had a plan, Rick. We had a plan. We met with a personal trainer. She came over. She started to explain, food and how much calories were in what. So you have all the answers.
I do. It's hard to juggle it and fit it all in. Because even when I want to get in the gym and exercise, some days it's really hard.
I don't disagree.
Unless I make it a priority and it happens first thing in the morning, then it's probably not going to happen. And then too with the food, I don't have willpower. I like food. I don't like saying no to the cookie. And if there's a cinnamon roll in my kitchen, I am not one of those people who they can be they say, oh, don't deprive yourself. Just have one bite. No, I know. I have to deprive myself.
Dude, Rick, when we first started dating, she was the most aggressive popcorn sharer ever. You know how you go to the movie together, you're on a date, right? You get do you want to just share? And we're like, okay, well, we'll just share, right? Dude, I would get anxiety. Because of the aggression.
You would tell me that she would popcorn gave you.
Bro, she was super fast, and I'd be there like I can't even, because also when you're sharing a tub of popcorn, you don't want to hit hands. So I'm like you know like how when girls do double dutch and they're waiting to get in. That's how I felt. Like I was waiting to get in, and Renae would, and I would go, well, not in the beginning, but now I'm like, hey guy, take a breath, take a break. Can I get some popcorn? But why? But which is funny because Delilah, our daughter, dude, the
way she attacks a bottle.
Dude, the way she attacks a bottle, dude, she's like this. They said, that's the best bottle ever. Like,
and then because she has like acid reflux, we've got to pull her away from it halfway through and burp her.
And then of course, she loses her shit. She loses her shit. Like she just starts screaming, and then you give it back to her, and she's like, "No, yeah, that's it. That's what I wanted." Like it's so aggressive, like you. But no, you're definitely somebody that like. And the funny part about you're like your dad.
What?
So remember when your dad? Who's the nice? And I'm embarrassed that I don't remember her name because she's so nice to us. The woman at your mom's shop that always bakes for her, and she's an amazing baker. She always
Miss Charnitsky that makes those brownies. Oh,
shout out to Miss Charnitsky because
the best brownies.
So she knows that I love them.
Yes,
because your mom has told her that I love them.
She knows everyone loves them. I think she brings mom a platter of brownies now every time she comes to get her hair done.
So, Rick, the in-laws are coming over again, and Raymond shows up. Daddy Raymond shows up, and then he goes, "Hey, Miss Charnitsky wanted you to have these." So we have a Tupperware of brownies, and it's full. I never see anybody eat them, but every day it's just dwindling.
If nobody sees you eat it, then the calories don't count. That's the way it works.
And the funny part is me and Mary are like, have you had one? Mary's like, I haven't had one. And then you just hear Raymond like giggling in the corner. And then he goes, yeah, but I'm not the only one. Renee's eating them too. So these two secretly were smashing brownies. And I'm the type, Rick, that if there's a pint of ice cream in the freezer, mental note, right? Mental note, there's ice cream. I don't want it today, but I know it's there. And I put a mental note in my head, okay, I might want ice cream.
So does that mean I'm supposed to announce to you every time I have some ice cream?
No.
Hey, babe, mental note, just so you know, I had some ice cream.
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that then I'll go to the freezer. I didn't see anybody eat it. I don't know when it got eaten, but it's not there. It's completely gone. So.
I try not to keep that stuff in the house.
So why do you eat it in secret?
I just told you, if no one sees you eat it, then the calories don't count.
So what do you think? Do you think that you want to get in better shape? Do you think that
I don't know. Why do you think you have extra pounds? Leave me alone.
Look, I don't. We can talk about my extra pounds. I've gone up and down in weight over the years. One of the big shockers for me weight wise was Showtime when I filmed that special. Grandpa Joe's son.
Yeah,
I was 270 pounds, and I was big. And
really, I thought you lost weight right before we got married. You filmed that special right before we got married.
And I had lost weight. That's the scary part.
Yeah.
And I was still very, very heavy. And I always say that for me, I always change, and I think people in general, I always change when there's consequences. Right?
Right.
When there's a consequence, if my drinking becomes a problem and you have a problem with it, and I know that you have a problem with it or that you might leave, that makes me want to change.
So you're threatening to leave me if I don't lose weight?
No, that's not what I'm saying. And the reason being is because, I played softball, I played ball, didn't have a problem competing at that weight because I'm very athletic, as everybody knows. I had a beautiful, beautiful girlfriend, right? So it wasn't keeping me
from getting the ladies.
It wasn't keeping me from getting the ladies, right? Mm-hmm. And then I don't know if you remember, that was a big deal for me. And then I remember when Dad got in the hospital, and we're at MD Anderson, and I hate that I don't remember her name because she was the best nurse there. She was amazing. And I remember she came into me and my sisters were going to spend 3 days each, remember?
Yes,
taking care of Dad. So I had the first 3 days, and the nurse comes in, and she goes, "Can I take your blood pressure?" And I go, "Yeah." I go, "Why?" She goes, "I just want to take your blood pressure." And I remember she took my blood pressure, and I'm trying to remember almost, it was like, I was like 240 over like 160. She goes, "You're going to have a stroke." She goes, "Are you on blood pressure medication?" And I go, "No, I'm not." She goes, "You are going to have a stroke." She goes, "You're going to have a stroke and you might even possibly die." She's like, "Your blood pressure is that high." And I remember those two things are the things that I went, okay, I'm too young to have a stroke.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm too young to be this overweight. So, I got back in the gym, started working out again, started really, and those first 2 years, man, the weight came off fast.
Yeah.
And then, you get to a point where I'm at now where I've plateaued. I'm not, I still go into the gym. I still lift weights. I still stay very, very active. Mm-hmm. I mean, we were just talking with Trey the other day. Trey said that when he walks Landa Park Golf Course, that he gets 1,200 steps. Well, I average a day anywhere between 1,400 steps, or 14,000, I'm sorry. 12,000 steps is what walking Landa Park is. I average about 14,000 to sometimes 25,000 a day.
More than a round of golf.
Way more than a round of golf. Today, and I sat in the car most of the day, I'm at 7,000.
Yeah.
And I sat in the car. I mean, that's just, right? And the day's not over, right? I mean, it's still, so I stay very active. But again, I know it's the food.
Yeah.
I know it's the food. I know it's dehydration. I know I don't drink enough water. And it is hard. And it is hard to overcome that, even though I know.
Yeah.
Even though, and by the way, if anybody ever is wondering, I am on blood pressure medication now.
Yeah.
And I take it religiously to make sure. As a matter of fact, yesterday, just for whatever reason, I didn't take my pill, and I want to check my blood pressure. Right?
Oh, I noticed it was out on the bed. I wondered why you pulled it out.
But it was good. It was great. And it made me really happy to see that even without the pill.
Oh, I was worried. I saw it out. I didn't want to ask. I thought maybe it's because it was high or you were feeling something.
No. I was just like, I didn't take it. Let me see where I'm at. Right. So I ended up having really good blood pressure. But it is hard, man. And our producer, Rick, who has become a very good friend of ours, me and him have had these conversations. And we've seen Rick go on, a crazy diet.
Yeah.
And then, last year and a half ago, I remember seeing Rick going, "Dude, what happened? You're very skinny, right? You look great." Yeah. He's like, "I'm on this diet. I'm trying to keep it up." And then it's just hard, man.
I was going to say, I don't think I've ever been successful at a diet. And, it's like the measuring of the food, too. I just find that so obnoxious and tedious to, measure your food.
I think...
But they say they sell, these little color-coded containers, and that makes it easier.
I think that would help me, is if I had somebody that goes, "Here's your breakfast, here's your lunch, or here's your snack, here's your lunch."
I would do it if you would eat it. I had the pre-made meals in the thing.
But at the same time, I think what else contributes to me, and somewhat you, my schedule's insane.
Yeah.
And I think Rick is the same way as I am, where our schedules are crazy. I mean, tomorrow morning, I'm waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning to drive to Austin, to then fly to San Francisco, to then drive to Pleasanton, to then perform at night, Friday night, 2 shows. I'm not going to get back into bed because I'm all amped up until 3 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
Then I'm upset. You know what I mean? So, and then all of a sudden, me, first flight back, Sunday morning.
Right.
I'll be flying back.
Well, and they say
Monday morning.
Sleep affects weight too.
Right.
They say ideally if you want to lose weight, to go to bed at a certain hour and then wake up at a certain hour. Something about our
and for me too, it's like I hate cardio. I love lifting weights. I like bench press. I like the weights. Playing ball and I enjoy it. I enjoy getting in there, lifting weights, being sore, right?
Yeah.
I mean, even when we tried, I think the best shape that me and you both were in is we completed
Insanity.
Insanity.
But even then we didn't do the diet.
But we didn't do the
Insanity,
diet.
But we were like, screw the diet and the shape.
I was really proud of us. I mean,
Yeah.
even we ended up going to Colorado that Thanksgiving to see Abel and Gloria in Pagosa Springs.
And we did it while we were traveling.
And even there, we stayed disciplined because we had it in our head that we
Yeah.
were going to complete Insanity, and that was probably the best shape that we were ever in.
Yeah.
But again, we weren't skinny because we didn't follow the diet.
Yeah.
So the journey's been tough, and we wanted to let you know that we didn't forget
That we talked about that in Croatia.
That we talked about that. I
I'm
mean,
never going to Croatia.
we're learning that Renee's never going to Croatia. We're never gonna see those abs.
Unless they're like spray tanned on.
But we're not giving up. I think we're.
No, I still want to. I say that and I'm like, I don't know. Do I really though? I don't know.
But I also think we need the right person, right? We need that person that is going to hold us accountable. Because you know what?
I need someone to come knock on the door and say it's okay. It's okay to put the baby down. Someone else can take care of the baby for a minute, you can come outside for an hour, or strap the baby on and let's go.
I think we should take it very seriously, and I think that and then the problem for me is I was doing the mixed martial arts, which I loved.
Yeah,
and I still love.
You were.
I haven't been able to because we started to film a special. Things got freaking crazy. There literally is no time to leave the house. So I need to work out at the house. So I've been working out at the house other than, okay, I'm going to drive the 20 minutes to get to the gym, work out for an hour for the class, the 20 minutes to get back. All of a sudden I'm out.
I don't know. For me too, I also feel like between the baby, my husband, and the kiddos, and the house, and all the work stuff we have going on, I feel like I don't even have social time with girlfriends.
Time. Yeah, no, we haven't.
You know what I mean? Yep. And so I feel like, okay, I want social time. I still want to have friends who I haven't seen.
And that's what's crazy. What people don't understand is number one, we truly are working harder than we've ever worked before. Because of COVID, right? Yeah. The things that happened over COVID, we have literally been working. I am not only touring, we're doing the podcast, we're working on socials, we're trying to film specials, we're dealing with managers, dealing with agents.
Yeah, it's crazy when you stop and think about it. Over the period of COVID, you filmed 2 specials. That's nuts. I mean, we usually have a lot more time between specials.
Well, and you know what? And it's funny that you brought that up because, it cracks me up when I get these messages, and the one that there's 2 things that people say that bother me, and one of those is must be nice, when somebody goes, oh, Steve, you have a boat, must be nice, oh, Steve, look at your house, must be nice. And it's like, what you don't understand as somebody who is self-employed is there is no clocking out. I have not been on that boat and I can't tell you how long, right?
Yeah.
My house, I don't get to enjoy it because I'm on the road working. I am busting my butt every single day. Now, take somebody like my dad, okay?
Yeah.
I remember my dad telling me, he said, several times I got offered to have my own business in the refinery business. And I turned him down. And I remember going, dude, we could have been rich. Because, of course, all those guys that have their own companies that staff refineries, they were always loaded, right? And my dad goes, yes. He goes, but I didn't want it. He goes, I wanted to clock in and I wanted to clock out.
Yeah.
I wanted to know how much money I was making every single week. I wanted to coach Little League. I wanted my weekends off. I did not want the headache of owning a business. So he knew that.
Right.
Right. And a lot of people don't realize that people who are self-employed, people who work for themselves, there is no clocking out. Right. There is no, schedule. There is no set income. I have no idea how much money I'm making this weekend. Zero idea. I could make a lot because it's sold out, or I can make none. I don't know. And even when it is sold out, all the clubs are different capacities, right? If I don't work a weekend, I don't know how much money I'm going to make, right? So even making a budget for us is very hard, right? So the next time, you think to yourself, oh, must be nice, look at the blessings that you have, right? Because I look at people and go, must be nice to be able to clock out.
Oh, when I see those messages, I think of like the years you slept in your car and the years you pulled out your own teeth because you couldn't afford to go to the dentist, and
the years we lived in an apartment the size of this room
and had no health insurance. And,
the years that I was driving a 1978 Chevy Blazer that I could mechanic on myself because
with no air conditioning.
Yeah, because me and you could not afford 2 cars.
Yeah.
We couldn't even afford a car payment.
I just, and banking on the fact that we believed in each other and we thought we were going to make it work somehow,
And we did. And so then I said 2 things. The other thing that drives me crazy is, well, you have money. You have money. Well, the fact that people think because we have money now that our life is easier. It's not.
Yeah.
It is, don't get me wrong.
Ooh, even talking about this makes me a little uncomfortable.
It feels the worst. It feels horrible. And then you hear people send a message going, oh, Steve and Renae just got a big head. And it's like, no, dude, we work our asses off every day just to be able to do what we love for a living.
Yeah.
So it drives me crazy when people say, must be nice. Or, well, they have money. All of our friends, yours included, and you're a lot younger than me, were buying houses. We were living in a tiny 1-bedroom apartment with 0 money.
Yeah. Feeling like we were failing at life.
A lot of people don't realize that at one point, one of the biggest fights we ever had was Renae saying, you need to get a job.
Like, I think you got to go put in a job application at the grocery store on the corner, and we got to figure this out.
We got in a huge fight because I go, no, I am going to be a stand-up comedian. And Renae goes, yeah, but it's not working. We're not paying the bills. Go get a job. And we got in a huge fight over it and ultimately decided that we were going to go for it.
Yeah.
And that we were going to do it, and we did. So, there's a lot of sacrifice that has been had, and you never know people's journey. You never know what somebody's been through. You never know how hard they worked or the sacrifices that were made to get somebody to get to that must be nice.
Yeah.
So that drives me absolutely insane. Now, the last thing that I would like to talk about.
Yeah.
Renae has guilted me into a vacation.
With the help of some very good friends. They coaxed and pushed. They were like double teaming on you to get you to book that vacation.
It is, I'm happy to do it. I'm happy to do it. We're going to go do it.
I'm like holding my breath. I asked you if you bought the trip insurance because I'm waiting for something to happen and you'll have to cancel.
No, but and we decided no kids. And it's not a long vacation. We're not going for a week. I mean, we're going for a few days, right?
I was surprised
3 days.
I know. I was going to say, I was surprised you booked it as long as you did.
Look, I want to make you happy. I live my life to make you happy. I say it on stage. I say it here. I live my life to make you happy. Now, the hard part is making sure that you feel happy when we're there, right? I'm really working on not having a bad attitude about it. I'm really working on
not being grumpy bear.
Not being grumpy about it. I'm really, and because I do want you to be happy. And
our friends already joke that they're going to take a horse tranquilizer and they'll have plenty of gummy bears for you. Like whatever we're going to need to do. It'll be like Weekend at Bernie's. We'll just drag you around everywhere.
I don't enjoy it. I'll do it for you. I enjoy being with you.
Yeah.
I enjoy watching you be happy. I enjoy the company of our friend Jen and Jeremy.
Yeah.
I enjoy their company, but I enjoy their company here at the house. I enjoy their company anywhere we go. I'd rather be in Vegas where there's activities, there's things to do.
So it's not about taking the vacation. It is about where we're taking the vacation. Because I thought it was just about taking the vacation in general, but you literally just said, like, if we were going to Vegas, I'd be happier about it.
Yes. I don't know what I'm going to do on a beach for my whole day. What am I supposed to do?
You'll find a casino, baby. I know.
There's no casino. There's no casino. The only gambling is leaving the resort. That's the only gambling that can be made. So I'm not leaving the resort. But, I am not, and I'm not a day drinker.
I'm trying to think if that's correct. I guess you're kind of right.
I'm not a day drinker. I know there's guys, guys and girls that love to drink during the day. Yeah. I'm not a day drinker because I drink whiskey and I don't want a whiskey at the pool. It just doesn't, and then you see me try. Sometimes I'm like, oh, well.
A Bloody Mary.
Yeah, maybe it needs to be a Bloody Mary or maybe a margarita or, and then I'm just like, eh.
Yeah.
So what am I supposed to do? I'm asking.
You don't day drink in Vegas either?
Nope.
I guess not, now that you say that.
Nope.
Oh, well, no, I've already heard you guys talking back and forth. You're like planning activities.
Well, there's only one.
So you don't go crazy.
There's one activity. The last full day we're there, we're going to take a boat ride, which is more fucking sitting down and doing nothing.
Wait, you like...
We're not even going to fish.
But you like boats.
We're not even going to fish. I like to
They
fish.
just throw some poles on the boat.
No. Well, they said we can snorkel, so we'll see what that's like. Okay. But for everybody watching, for everybody listening, I'm going to do my very best to be positive, to be happy, to enjoy my day with my wife, days with my wife.
Days. That sounded very painful the way you said that.
At a swimming pool.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
At a beach. I'm excited about I guess we scheduled a romantic dinner for the four of us.
Yes, they're going to set up a private dinner for us.
So I mean, that'll be nice. I heard it's very good. And the food's, me, I'm a foodie. I like food.
Yes.
So.
And you like seafood. You like crab. You can eat lots of crab while we're there, I'm sure.
Steak and crab.
There you go. We'll just keep you well fed and tranquilized.
I'm trying to ask you a question.
Oh, what was the question? I missed it.
What are we supposed to do? What's the plan while we were at this beach vacation?
What do you mean, what's the plan? It's a vacation. You sit on the beach. There's not supposed to be a plan. You're on vacation. That's the point.
Rick, can you sit on a beach for 8 hours? Really?
Thank you, Rick. We're going to sleep in. There's not going to be a screaming, crying baby to wake us up. Or a little boy saying, make me eggs.
When have you known me to ever sleep in?
On the road.
No, I don't sleep in on the road.
Yeah, you do. You wake up and you're like, oh, I woke up out of habit. You do not get out of bed and you go back to sleep. And then I'll call you and you'll be like, oh, shoot, it's 11 or, oh, it's 12. I went back to sleep.
I try.
You do. You get to do that.
Oh, my God, dude. How did this turn into you get? Make it 3 things. 3 things that I hate to hear. You get to do that.
Because you just basically said you're going on vacation just to make me happy.
I am.
So you get to sleep in on the road.
Why else am I going on this vacation?
You're just going on this vacation to make me happy.
Yes.
And
I'm happy to do it.
But we also had a discussion when I was pregnant. I feel like when I was pregnant, I remember you and I had a discussion.
No, here's what's really... Okay, go ahead.
You and I had a discussion about how we know that us spending time together, just the two of us, is important. And even though you don't like to carve out the time to go on vacation, you realize why it's important and that you would do it. And at that time, when we had that conversation, you told me the hard part is you and I enjoy doing different things, but we both agreed that we like to drink wine. And so you were like, okay, plan a vacation for like 4 months after Delilah's born, and I will do that. He's like, let's put it on the calendar so we both know it's on the calendar. Do you remember that?
First of all, Rick.
No, answer my question. Where's the button? Answer my question.
I don't remember that. I don't remember that. I remember coming to you.
It was like a come to Jesus conversation, and we were like, okay, we understand why that's important for our marriage.
I remember coming to you and going, when can I book Vegas? And you were like, oh, no, it's gotta be like 6 months. I cannot leave. I cannot leave my children, my new baby,
I said
until
about
at least
4 months.
6 months.
No.
And then all of a sudden, Jen and Jeremy are like, hey, you guys want to go on a beach vacation? And you're like, yeah, let me book it.
I said about 4 months. I said
so
about 4 months.
Shit,
You're so full of shit.
I read one comment where they were like, oh my God, I want to see these arguments when they're not on camera. And I wish you guys could. I wish you guys see the bullshit.
Yours.
And the negativity in Goliad. I'm not even going to bring it up. Even though I brought it up. I'm really glad that we did this episode today.
Yes.
We're running out of time.
Oh, no, but we got to talk about the LLS, the Man and Woman of the Year.
Yes. We have several good friends that are involved with LLS.
Yes.
And
the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society.
Yes. And, one of them is in the business, and Cindy has always been there for me and has always rooted for me. Early on, she had the opportunity because she's friends with Gretchen and Slade from Real Housewives of Orange County. Slade was doing a comedy show, and they needed comedians to help him. And she picked me and Tom Segura.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah,
So me and Tom Segura helped Slade with his stand-up comedy at the Irvine Improv, which, by the way, if you want to go look for that episode, I'm on an episode of Real Housewives of Orange County. I don't even know where to look. Yeah. But Cindy has always been there for us, and something that is very near and dear to her heart. And Evelyn, Evelyn and Chris. It's very near and dear to the heart is the LLS, Lymphoma Society, right? And she reached out and she said, Steve, can you help us raise some money? And because we love her and because we think that, we do get involved so much with the veterans that it is nice to sometimes try to help other great organizations.
Right. And this year we're fundraising on behalf. We're an honorary team. There's actually a boy and girl of the year who we're fundraising in their honor. And I thought about, we talk about Delilah and how hard it is having a baby with colic. And I just think here, we have a healthy baby.
Oh my God.
I can't imagine.
The older I get, and now that I have kids, these fucking Sarah McLachlan, if I hear her voice, I'm like, what are you doing to me? Or the St. Jude's Children's Hospital, when they show these kids, it really touches me.
But these kids who are so brave and their parents have to go through that. And so the society really does make them.
For those of you that care, and remember, it's as easy as, putting a post on Facebook, liking, sharing. But even if you give $1.
Well, there's two things people can do. They can, we have a fundraising team. And so if people, have a family member that's been affected by this, or they're really passionate about it too, they can join our team and they can fundraise money as well over the next couple of weeks. It runs for 10 weeks. So I think we're fundraising till June 13th.
What's the website?
We have a website and there's a link to it on your Instagram bio, and there's a link to it in my Instagram bio too. If people want to join our team, they can. And even like you said, if they just want to make a donation, any amount makes a difference. They can go and they can donate on our page too.
Yes. So anybody that's been through this and survived, congratulations. We love you. Anybody that's been through this and has lost a loved one, please understand that we do care. Renae and I do care, and we hope that this makes a little bit of a difference. So,
and I just want to say a big thank you to, we do have some people who have already joined our teams to fundraise money as well. Karen Bockham and Dorothy, I'm so sorry, I'm going to screw up your last name. It's Dorothy Schrepfler. I totally screwed that up. I'm sorry.
Courtney Bockham joined us?
Karen Bockham, her mama.
Oh, her mom. Yeah. Her mom's great. She made that bear for Garrett that we just cherish. So thank you, Miss Bockham, and what a wonderful family they are. So thank you so much. And join us, help us. Let's spend the next couple of weeks, we haven't forgot about you veterans, of course, but let's spend the next couple of weeks raising money and focusing on the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, the LLS. So this is Steve and Renae, another episode of Steve and the Captain Evil podcast. Thank you guys so very much. And we love you, and we'll see you soon.